Many children. This was the project, like you said, that was, backed by American Transportation. How did you do it?
It was put together on paper. I looked into, did research, looked into the cost of doing a well. President Norris, as I mentioned earlier, John Norris of American, he said, well, why don't we start trying to do some fundraising, and we'll see if we might be able to help, might be able to get it done. From there, ball began to roll. American did put together some fundraising activities.
Talking about the wells, I don't know, there are different types of wells, right?
There's basically 3 types of wells. Shallow well, then there's a mid-level well, and then there's what they call a deep water well. We sort of took the middle course and got a mid-level well where you go down actually somewhere around 70 feet. We were able to tap on the water from about 63 feet.
Where did you have this?
This was in a western province called Kakamega, which is in western Kenya, in a rural area, at a school, a primary school of roughly about 700 kids. Also, it will be impacting another roughly 500 people in that village, in that area, immediately surrounding the school. So it should impact about 1,200 people that will be able to have clean water, fresh water, henceforth, whereas they were walking roughly 2 kilometers round trip with buckets to a creek, which sometimes was shared by livestock or animals or whatever. The water wasn't really clean, what the kids were getting and the people were getting in this area. This is a rural area that lacks, to a great extent, electricity. There's a lot of poverty, and which is quite the contrary from some of the bigger cities, and like Nairobi and so forth. They have electricity and so forth, but the villages and the rural areas is where the real need is, and so it was great that we were able to impact about 1,200 people, and now they will have clean water, not only to drink, but for cleaning needs or for washing, etc. So it's just a wonderful, just marvelous, to be able to help a little bit.
Especially the people in need. Where I come from, there's a saying, people who never travel, somebody who has never traveled, they never really appreciate what God has given them. For me, who has traveled all the way from Zambia to being here, I know how privileged and blessed I am to be in this country.
The kids have to go, they don't have laboratories with flushing water, etc. They have to go out to latrines and outhouses type of situation at the school. So there's still the need for more to be done. In the villages, is still a lot of desperate poverty.
As we talked to Allen, Allen has another project he wants to do. Of course, his project in Kenya was very successful. He had to put up the clean water shallow well in about, how long did it take, Allen?
Well, we were really fortunate. We were really blessed because sometimes you have complications with the wells. You go down the rigs and they, bore down, and they run in the rock and hard, surfaces deep before they actually hit the water. And a lot of times it's complications. It doesn't. What would take maybe 3 or 4 days to do ends up being 3 or 4 weeks.
But yours, you were able to do yours in 2 days, 3 days, or 2
3 days.
3 days.
Really blessed situation. They have done 146 wells roughly in the last 6 years. Our particular well was done in 3 days. I mean, it was one of the most successful.
Allen, thank you so much for the successful project you had in Kenya. Any plans, any other places you want to touch?
Going forward to start my own 501c3 nonprofit, and try to raise money here and continue to work. So this was just hopefully the first of many trips to come. We like to do some more wells wherever they're needed, you know, wherever kids and people need clean water, and also to help some people here with their educational needs.
You know how much we can make a difference in people's lives. You know we can do it. We know we have people who have the ideas to write of what he wants to do and to push, to put them to work.
Leka kemba ualwimbo Embo lwimbo Kalisha wangoma Alisisheleza wakwe Nachabana bakwalesa basangalale Embo lwimbo na masha Pakwingila munganda ya kwale lesa natileka kemba walwimbo